I would do that and immediately, I did too much. Constant cocaine roller coaster. Doing it over and over, praying to God it's not the last time. Let's go. K-Rugs, the Soberdog, coming at you. Remember, Soberdogs does not promote or condone any drug use. These videos are for educational, informative, and entertainment purposes only. Please seek professional medical help if you have an addiction. Shout out to the Patreon of the week, Preem Jam Properties. Thank you so much for being a producer level Patreon, and all the patrons. Thank you. Anyone who wants to help out on Patreon, link in the description. The cocaine roller coaster. Wait for it, because I'm going to tell you about the insanity, basically overdosing time and time again, multiple times in a night, praying to God it's not the last time. So there is this insanity, specifically with uppers. For somebody like myself during addiction, it got to a point, when I told you about, started with Oxy, but did a lot of stuff prior, snorted cocaine and ecstasy and mushrooms and a ton of alcohol. So once addiction narrowed in and became that daily use, it was, I think a lot of people have their DOC, their drug of choice. They'll do other stuff if they can't find it, but they always search for that, and that's like their holy grail. For me, that was speedball, heroin and coke. It got to the point where I couldn't do one without the other. And if I got just one, I'd hold it and wait till I could get the other. But then it was have to do them both. And, then I started finding dealers that sold both all the time so that I could always get them. What I would typically do, let's say I had, $150, something like that. I'd always get a couple more bags of heroin than coke, of the downer. Now I would do my shots, I would do maybe 2 and 2, two of each and 2 of each, or 3 and 2. My second to last one would be, 2 or 3 bags of coke and 2 or 3 bags of heroin. But then my last one of the night would be just the heroin to come down. Those ones I'm doing in between all throughout the night. Is this constant insane roller coaster of, so I get it, and I would typically the first shot would do like 1 and 1 to see how they both are. Because I've had times where gone to the dealer, got stuff, did it, gone back an hour later, totally different batch, total different strength. So I find out kind of how it is. But you always have to push the limit, especially with uppers. I always find this out. One of the main goals with users or IV users like myself, and if you used, this, is that initial rush that's coming with it. If I just did a shot with 3 bags and it was a good rush, the next one I'm pushing 4, it's got to be a little bit more. It's got to be a little bit better. The problem with that is I cannot tell you how many hundreds of times, thousands, my brain saying, okay, you were right on the edge there. That was a lot. This stuff is strong. But you got to go a little bit more. It's got to be a little bit better. The other stuff from the first shot or the first 2 or 3 or 4 is still in my system. Just because the high is going down doesn't mean it's not in there. Now I'm putting 3 bags in of coke in that shot to try to get more. Do it. It was almost instantaneous, and almost every time immediate kind of regret, but prayers. Like, do it, and I could tell within 3 seconds, it's too much, or that's over your limit. And your heart goes insane, and you're sweating, and your every system in your body is going into overdrive. Imagine you just put the gas down on your car full blast. Everything cranks up, the RPMs, the speed, the engine temperature, just everything is going into overdrive. It's not used to it. Like when Fast and the Furious, they used to hit the NOS button and everything in the car goes insane. That's what it's like. I would do that and immediately, I did too much. And I would start praying. Oh no, I did too much. Please don't let it be my last time. If it is, I'm sorry. And I'd say all this stuff. After about a minute or 2, then it would slowly start to subside and I would know, okay, I'm not gonna die, at least not this second. 20 minutes later, I'm doing the exact same thing with more, over and over and over again. Each time trying to reach a little bit higher high than the time before, and it's typically always the uppers trying to find this high. It is insane. I would do it again, then it's, oh God, I'm sorry. I would start praying and talking to both my grandfathers passed, and I, view them watching down on me. Don't let it be the last time. And the vision's going and the sound and everything. And then it subsides a little bit. I don't know if that was the downers also kicking in around that time, or just, I don't know. Somehow somebody looking out got me through it. But that is that constant coaster. Now imagine doing that every day, 8-9 times a day for years. And every time trying to one up the time before and get that first high you ever got that was very, intense. Anybody who's in recovery or active use, if you did speedballs, that is that constant battle. For me, it was always coke. A lot of people that, some of them with meth too. The thing with meth is it lasts longer, so there might be a bigger gap between shots. Trying to get that insane high and pushing the limit of what our heart can handle and not knowing what time the heart is going to be done. My body's still filled with the substances from prior. Just because the high went away doesn't mean the body, cleaned it out yet. This is that coaster ride that is deadly for so many people.